Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back, it's Carlo. Um, this is the second thing I wanted to talk about today. It's related to my last video, but I feel like it can have its own video. So basically, I read this quote or like phrase recently, and it was basically something along the lines of connection without curiosity is an illusion. And that really like wowed me. I was like, oh, like light bulb, light bulb. Um, and I think it's true. Like, I've never thought about that before, but when I think about it, it's true. And what I think that phrase really means is that, like, when you have relationships with people, good relationships, right? Like your close friends, your loved ones, like lasting relationships, and they do something that kind of makes you be like, hold up, like, what's going on? Um, I think as humans, we're wired to make assumptions, see patterns, make assumptions, and kind of operate off of those for survival sake. But it's like when you have a good relationship and you know this person and they've never really give you any reason to think that they're playing some kind of game or anything, um, that's the time to be curious because, like, okay, hold up, my brain. If someone close to you does something that confuses you or makes you take a step back, like, whoa, and it makes you have an assumption's negative, and you're just like, what's going on? If it is a connection that you truly care about and a person that you value, curiosity and taking the time to ask them, like, hey, like, the thing that you did really confused me. Would you be able to, elaborate on why you did that? Or, just actually asking, like, hey, what made you do that? Or what were you thinking when you said this? Because I took it this way, but I wasn't sure. Obviously saying it kindly, not being like, what's your issue? Unless that's how you guys talk, that's fine. But actually taking the time to be curious and ask gives room for true connection. That gives them the chance to actually, let you in to where they were at and really be vulnerable or really share, like, if they were just really having a hard time in that moment and they accidentally took it out on you, they really didn't mean it, or if they had a rough week and they were overwhelmed and it made them kind of maybe speak or be more short with you or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, taking the time to ask gives the people who you care about the chance to be real with you, right? And that's what makes the connection more real, is to actually hear each other's inner thoughts, hear each other's inner wounds, learn more about each other's true selves and maybe why they showed up that way and maybe why it was different than what you're used to. Maybe it was just like a little moment, versus like making the assumption that, like, oh, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. What's an assumption you make? Like, if maybe someone's short with you who's never short with you, maybe you assume out of your own wounds, granted, because, that's where assumptions come from, or your own, experiences that hurt you. Maybe you would assume, like, oh, they don't like me anymore, like, maybe they've been harboring feelings and they're not telling me and they don't want to be my friend anymore. And then what's worse is if you act out of that assumption and you're like, all right, I can play that game too. Or like, man, they should have just told me, like, now I'm gonna be short with them back and let them know, like, I'm not interested either. Like, do you know what I'm getting at? I don't know if my example is clear, but it's just like, obviously, if someone you just met and they're pulling some weird stuff, like, you don't need to put yourself through that. You can assume, like, nah, like, they're strange, I'm good. Like, I don't want that. But if it's someone you've known for so long, they've never really given you much reason to think that they're pulling something on you, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like benefit of the doubt. It's being curious. It's thinking like, oh, maybe they just had a bad day. I don't really know what was up, but let me ask. It's like that. Yeah, I just wanted to speak on that because I feel like it's really valuable in how you move in your relationships, especially your close ones, is to take the time to be curious. Because if you're never asking someone a little bit more, whether it's moments of conflict or not, just being curious, period. It doesn't need to be like they did something that made you like perk up your ears and then you're gonna ask about it. It can literally just be being curious about them. Like, it tells you a lot when, let's say you're making a new friend and they never ask about you. They're never curious about actually getting to know you. But you're actually asking them, like, about their experiences, about their day, about what they like, about what their family's like, things like that. That tells you a lot. So curiosity in many ways, right, is what makes a connection real. Because if you're never asking, just like the phrase says, like, that connection's an illusion. It's probably one-sided. It's probably more surface level. But it's not true. It's not a two-way street. If there's a lack of curiosity on both ends or one end, yeah, I guess that's something to look out for. That's something to keep on the top of your mind, in regards to how other people move, but also how you choose to show up. You know what I mean? Yeah, just stay curious. Make sure those around you that claim to care about you show curiosity. That's it. That's my message for today. Hope it found you well. Hope you guys taking care. Eat today. Drink water. And that's it. Peace.